a massive statue of a nude Donald Trump was set up over the weekend just outside of Las Vegas. And as you can imagine, this thing caused quite a stir there.
How am I just finding out about this? In my last video, I talked about a Republican who was threatened with jail time for having a 100-foot sign on one of his warehouses that simply said, "Vote for Trump." Yet someone put up this obscene giant statue of Donald Trump, and news sources like these are just calling it unusual.
Our Southern Utah correspondent Cannon Seacrest brings us the story on how this unusual sight right here has the community talking.
Unusual. This is deplorable, and this is downright pornographic.
Just north of Las Vegas, while driving on I-15 this weekend, travelers saw a 43-foot tall naked statue of former President Donald Trump. While many were shocked by the sheer size of the sculpture, some neighbors found it extremely offensive. The statue appeared without any warning, catching residents and visitors off guard. Jason, a Las Vegas resident who didn't want to give his last name out of fear, described his initial shock at seeing the monument.
I was on my way to work, and like a normal day, come pulling up around the corner, I see a big white, I didn't know what it was at first. I couldn't believe it, but it looked like a white guy that was naked.
The sculpture is made out of rebar and foam, and we were told that it weighs around 3 tons.
Obviously, the media are censoring his appendage, but this statue features a fully handcrafted dong. I had to go into incognito mode to find one of these pictures, but it is disgusting.
Although the artist remains anonymous, the sculpture has since been taken down, but not before leaving a lasting impression on those who saw it.
It made me scared to come to work because I felt like, what if I'm going to get shot or new stuff just because of the way I look? And I don't know why I didn't.
Wow, okay, interesting. This reminds me of that black NASCAR driver, Bubba Wallace, who found a noose in his garage and he was crying out racism. And they found out it would just happen to be there. It wasn't really tied to anything racist. That begs the question, though. You see this huge naked white guy strung up, and news media are calling it unusual and amusing, not deplorable and violent.
And I don't know why the election should have to affect people at home so badly. I mean, it was up there for a couple of days now, you know, and it seemed like nobody gave a dang. I don't care if it's about Donald Trump. It doesn't matter who they are. It's a human being. And we don't do this to each other.
Take all the politics out of this. If someone just put up a 47-foot tall statue of a naked man complete with penis and testicles, wouldn't the local community be in an outrage? But since it's Donald Trump, it's totally fine. In fact, this isn't the first instance of a naked Donald Trump statue. 8 years ago, several were installed in New York City featuring a nude Donald Trump with a micro penis. What I'd like you to notice is all the children wandering around this obscene statue. One of these statues was also literally paraded around.
Las Vegas marks the 8th state that the installation right here has visited so far. Those who
That upside down flag, that's infuriating. I don't know what's worse.
Had the opportunity to see it say it is definitely unforgettable.
I would rather not eat than see his butt.
I prefer not to see a naked Donald Trump ever again.
It was so sickening, it really did make my day. Yeah.
It was so sickening, it made your day. That's the mantra of the left. So sickening, it makes their day.
Well, the float's creators say the installation was inspired by the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes, because they say it emulates the recent controversy surrounding Trump's campaign.
I'll say the obvious here. What if it was reversed? What if it was Kamala Harris hanging up naked with her saggy titties, 47 feet tall, out in the Las Vegas desert? What if it's Kamala Harris's naked caricature being paraded down Las Vegas streets? It just would not happen. But don't worry, it's Donald Trump. Who cares?
Perfect and disturbing.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's obnoxious. Well, according to the Washington Post, the sculptures were designed by a Las Vegas-based artist named Ginger, who has a long history of designing monsters for haunted houses. The artist says he used 300 pounds of clay and silicone to make each and every Trump. They weigh about 80 pounds each. Donald Trump has not commented on the naked statue.
Now, this is the artist who created the Trump statues. On behalf of all ginger-bearded white men everywhere, we disown him. Now, a true hero came and busted down these statues.
Donald Trump statue in downtown Las Vegas is vandalized overnight, and the statue has now been removed. All that's left are the feet. The local artist who made the statue says he was afraid that something like this would happen.
It was kind of anticipated. I was hoping we would at least get one day of the festival.
Well, the artist says he was planning to repair it and put that statue back up, but Life is Beautiful officials have asked him not to do that.
Who is the true vandal in this story? The person that put up these nude statues in public, unpermitted, unlicensed, or the person who took them down? Now, I respect freedom of speech, and I am no stranger to political satire. This yard sign is one of our best sellers. And yes, I've gotten a lot of flack from the left and the right about this design. However, this illustration is merely suggestive. It's not downright pornographic. And unlike a giant naked statue of Donald Trump, this one actually does talk about Kamala's policies. She's like the border, always open. This is in reference to her utter failure at securing the border.
There was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled.
And her well-documented affair with California politician Willie Brown, who she slept with for political gain. When your only message is obscenity, it's not really much of a message. But the lefties love it, and they're calling the right crybabies about the statue. For all the lefties out there who have small children, how would you like it if someone created a giant nude statue of you and hung it in front of your home? Who am I kidding? They probably love it. I cannot abide the double standard, the hypocrisy of the left, when 3 simple words, vote for Trump, leads to an emotional breakdown, and a giant nude statue of Donald Trump leads to giggles. Now, this giant Trump statue has since been removed, but the artist has stated that it will be put up again in different states as the election draws closer. But what do you think? Is this free speech, or has this gone too far? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to Conservative Vibes. I'm CV, and I'll see you in the next video. Kamala open border yard signs and t-shirts are also now 10% off through the weekend. Click the link below or visit conservativevibes.com to snag one today.